yeah, I feel like November, or like the year of truths, and like you're like, oh, you only have like 3 months left. Like a lot can happen in 3 months, you know. So they were talking about the second UAP hearing. The first one was last year, and they talked about like legacy programs. Basically, there's like this division of the government that's operating without oversight, right? And okay, so basically, what allegedly is going on is there was these crash retrievals from like places like Roswell. Actually, there's retrieval teams all around the world, all around US. And then they will basically take the downed UAP craft, bring it to a facility, give it to their top scientists, which is like Lockheed Martin and like I was like I can't remember the other ones, but like there's these big like technology
Northrop
companies.
Grumman or
Yeah, I was
something?
gonna say that. I was gonna say that, but I was like, is that right? I don't know. North of Grumman, something
Yeah,
like that.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So they'll bring them there, and then their top scientists will work on reverse engineering these crafts. And in the working of reverse engineering, they've created different what do you call that? Different physics for one, and different technologies that they haven't released to the public. Okay, and Stephen Greer was like, "Yeah, we that's what's going on," and that's aligned well with what Lou Elizondo and all of them, David Grush, they're all saying that, right? So, which is weird because Stephen Greer and David Grush and Lou Elizondo don't like each other. But you guys say the
Okay.
exact same thing. So it's like, bro, you're both fighting the same battle. You just don't like each other. Because like Stephen Greer is like, they're disinformation agents because they worked with the government, whatever, whatever. So,
You just have to
so
distrust with those people,
yeah,
with
I
the people with
guess, I guess,
in the
yeah,
government.
right. But there's so many people that have worked on these programs, like Bob Lazar, remember? And then we all called him crazy, but like turns out he was a part of that thing, allegedly. So I'm all leading up to what's happening November 13th. Um, so we during the first hearing, we heard about legacy programs. We heard that these are real. Fighter pilots came to testify, and they're like, "No, we encounter these all the time." Okay, so I think that in the November 13th hearing, they're going to have people who work directly with these reverse engineering, aka legacy programs. Okay, that's my sense. They like the person that I'm following didn't want to say who's coming, but he's like, it's going to be a crazy hearing. And I'm like, well, the only thing that'd be crazier is if they had people who worked on these programs testifying, right? And then Congress was like, wait, there's a whole subdivision that we can't even access. Like, there's
Hmm.
a whole like development thing. So, hence the legacy program thing. And then recently, I think it was like yesterday, they came out with the name of the actual program. It's called Immaculate Constellation. That's
Hmm.
that's the program where they go, they take the craft and then they reverse engineer it. Okay. And so you're like, well, who cares about the name of the program? So the reason why this is such a bombshell is because under the Freedom of Information Act, you can search for things, but you need to know the exact name.
Hmm.
So when somebody leaked, so like the information's public. Remember like the TR3B? Or like,
Yeah.
dude, I didn't even know this was real. And then you Google it, you're like, dude, all this information about the TR3B is out. But it's like
Hmm.
you just didn't know the name of it, right? So like now that we know what Immaculate Constellation is, you can start to like petition the government for the information,
Hmm.
and they have to give it to you, right?
Right.
Against for the law. So like, so that's the name of the program. Allegedly, they're going to bring these scientists forward to Congress to admit, like, yeah, we've worked on these legacy programs. So the craziest bombshell of all is that from people I've watched who are scientists who have already been like they're online too. They're like, I worked on this reverse engineering program. Like they're all out there, but it's just like it's not mainstream.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's YouTube. If you're in the space, you see all these scientists talking about it. So the crazy part is they could admit to a whole different physics that they have that is not public. So we're all focused on quantum physics and string theory, but there's a whole different type of physics that they've classified
Sure. Okay.
under
Yeah. Yeah.
under the Atomic Energy Act,
Hmm.
which is the atomic bomb Oppenheimer.
Right.
Why is Christopher Nolan just giving us all the information, bro? He's like, here's Oppenheimer. And then you read an Oppenheimer, you're like, wait, there's like, it's connected to UAPs. Like Tenet, wait, it's connected to time travel, UAPs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bro, I'm telling you, like, this guy is like giving us the breadcrumbs the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Maybe he's an alien.
I think so, bro. Like, bro, how are you just giving us the information, bro? Because now it's all making sense. Like,
Right. Right.
if you look in Oppenheimer, you're like, oh yeah, there was a whole Atomic Energy Secrecy Act for the bomb.
Mm.
But then what they did was, in order to hide the UAPs at the highest level, so what they were saying, Lou Elizondo was explaining this, you can have, like in the military, it's like I outrank you, so you have to tell me everything you know, right? But if you're a part of a special access program, then even if you outrank me, it's a need to know.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to bring a committee in and we have to admit that you are worthy of needing to know. So
Right.
that's how this is working. And then like in Congress, they're going to be like, no, we need to know. So they're going to like out it to the American people, right? And so with all these reverse engineerings, I think that maybe that's what, and Stephen Greer said this, now it's clicking. The reason why you see so many UFO encounters in the US, like all these orbs and like people are like, oh my God, I was just walking, I saw a UFO. It's like because these are all reverse engineered testing crafts, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that's what it is. It's just like they have a different type of physics that's able to affect gravity. That's why it looks weird. And they're just creating them and like piloting them, and people are witnessing it accidentally. And they're like, oh my God, UFOs are real. It's like, yeah, but those are ours.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind. I think that I think that's something that I would say. Like, I don't know if they're alien. It could just be our tech that
I
was
think that's what it is.
right.
Yeah, I think like now that it like no, there is alien crafts for sure because that's how what they did. They reverse engineered it.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
I'm not
they
right.
found
I
it.
understand that. Yeah, yeah.
Right?
But like what people are seeing, it may just be our own or
I
American
think so.
own technology.
I think so. I really think so. Because if you look at the Tic Tac case, okay, so Stephen Greer is like the Tic Tac is ours. I'm like, okay, sure, maybe. Like his documentaries are so good, but like people are sleeping on him. So when the fighter pilots they fought they did like an aerial maneuver with the Tic Tac, right? Then it disappeared. And then when they went to their secret location where they're all going to meet up, the Tic Tac appeared there.
Mm-hmm.
How would the Tic Tac know that? Unless it was us,
Right.
right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because like, so like the UFOs know where your cat point is. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would they conceive any of that unless it was ours and it's going back to the same base where you are because that's where like
Right. Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
load and unload ships. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then when they talk about like these giant mechs underwater, I'm like, that could just be ours too, bro. That
Mm-hmm.
they're just testing these underwater like mechs, like literally Gundam Wing, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's making sense, right?
Yeah. It's
Like we
possible.
have
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
no, but like I don't unless you're like no that you're missing a blatantly obvious hole here. Like I don't know. What do you
I
think?
would no no. I'm saying like I would more direct it towards being man-made.
Yeah, the UFO sightings, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. Well, that's what Stephen Greer is saying. He's like everything you see is mostly us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, maybe I don't know. But then when you hear about these legacy programs and like um, Immaculate Constellation, you're like, okay, so it's probably us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that actually makes sense, you know.
Right.
So okay, where I'm getting with this, and this is why I'm excited about November 13th. I don't care. Sure, make your. Oh wait. Here's a crazy one too. So you can classify physics, which they admitted to. So, string theory and quantum physics. I was like, oh, people are like, because people who are in the quantum physics world, they're like, we don't fully understand it, and like string theory, it's an incomplete idea, right? But if these scientists have created a whole different branch of physics that's able to manipulate gravity and time travel, all that stuff. The reason why you classify it is because it's like under the atomic energy, it's like weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a military secret.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what these people are arguing about, these scientists are like, you can't classify science
Mm-hmm.
because science is general. Like it's not. You can't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can't make gravity
No,
proprietary.
no,
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
no. I get that. No, no, no. I think that, but that makes
And that's the
sense. That
battle. That's the battle.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like when they were
Coming.
doing the atomic bomb thing, they were battling with Germany. They weren't. They were hiding secrets in the sense of how they're going to do it, not
Yeah.
of the science.
Exactly. Right. And right. So with the Atomic Energy Act, they're using that to hide all of this, and that's what's making these companies very profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, sure. Like let's give you a $1 trillion NASA deal to like fly to Mars. You know what I mean? But it's like, but you know that you have anti-gravity, you could just warp to Mars. You don't actually need a rocket.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's an unfair competitive advantage,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So like you're kind of playing the game. You're playing with
Mm-hmm.
people with the
Mm-hmm.
game. You know, it's like, yeah, let them put their money in there. Like EVs. Let's go back to EVs.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm an investor and I'm like, oh, EVs are the future, bro. So I'm gonna put all my money in EVs. And then like 2 years down the line, you're like, oh, actually we have this whole different science, 0 point energy. You don't even need EVs. I lost all my money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the real issue that they're saying is behind the secrecy. Because they've created this little game of economics that if you out it, people got screwed out of their money.
Mm-hmm.
It's an economics issue. It's not actually hey, we're not alone in the universe. I
Right.
think if most people you're like, hey, we're not alone, you're like, cool, that makes sense.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You know, these UFOs, they're actually our tech. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, totally. So like people are like, oh, ontological shock. People freak out and like quit their jobs and they won't want to work if they find out these aliens are real. And then like when you dig a little deeper, it's like, no, actually there's like business deals that went on and unfair competitive advantages. The reason why Lockheed got so big is because of this. The reason why Bell got so big is because of this, which is not fair for us as consumers because you breach um your what do you call it? Like stock market SEC laws or
Okay.
whatever.
SEC laws. Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's open, it's like you can
Mm-hmm.
put your money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once you find out that like no, there was information that was withheld, then it's like insider trading basically.
Right.
Like insider trading. Like if
Yeah.
I know
Yeah, yeah.
information, like I know a company's gonna fail, so I invest in this other company,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody knows that information. Like when you're doing like public stock market stuff, everybody has to know the information.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what keeps it fair.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is what's but it could crash the economy
Mm-hmm.
because then people are like, I invested so much in gas and you have 0 point energy. When it comes out, then I'm going to lose all my money, blah, 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 right? So
Sure.
they're going to pull out their money and like, we're going to see an economic collapse,
Mm-hmm.
which is what one army official mentioned. He's like, this could be like the collapse that happened during the Bronze Age. Because like we developed too quickly. People didn't know how to regulate the economies and then like the whole thing collapsed.
Mm-hmm.